Smothers-Chu here. I am the CEO and founder of Befriended Heart, where I help long distance daughters navigate their parents' dementia. So, you probably guessed from the title of this video that my dad passed a little over a week ago, and I still can't believe that he's gone. I feel like someone has ripped my heart out of my chest, and I still miss him so much. So while I am no longer personally in the dementia journey of my own family, I want to let you know that I have dedicated my career to being with, founding Befriended Heart and really helping you and your family get through this journey. And I will be here holding your hand every step of the way. So I am definitely in the initial grief process right now. So I guess the best way to describe it is that I have sort of a mess of feelings going on. I definitely have sadness. There's also an aspect of relief too, and sort of when you admit that there's some relief, that there's some burden taken off your shoulders, that you're no longer on the emotional roller coaster of dementia, you do feel that relief, and then you feel immediately that guilt that maybe you shouldn't feel relieved. I'm trying to think of what else. One thing I've been feeling recently too is that I really miss my dad. I miss being able to visit him even with the dementia. I miss my dad's personality before the disease. I feel like I didn't really get to say goodbye to my dad before he had dementia, right? And so I have a lot of things going on in my head right now, and I'm sure that as I go through the stages of grief with this, that I will let you know what I've learned. But I wanted to thank you so much for liking this channel, for liking my Facebook business page, and most especially for being on my email list, because I've gotten some really beautiful emails from daughters and sons alike about how much I've helped them. And honestly, that's why I started Befriended Heart. I really started it for my dad. I started it to continue his legacy and to continue to sort of start part of my legacy, right? And it just really fulfills me so much to hear that what I'm doing is making a difference in your lives. And yeah, that's just really gratifying. So I want to tell you the thing that sort of keeps going through my mind. One of the biggest lessons that I learned in this entire, several year process of being in the dementia journey. And that really is, as long distance daughters, can't take care of our forgetful parent alone. And not only can we not take care of them alone, but we also, even when we're helping our caregiving parent and we are, putting forth the effort and taking on that burden as well, we find that there's only so much we can do, right? There's some expertise that we're missing, and we're really needing to hire some professional people in the healthcare field, whether that's, a geriatrician who works specifically with elders, if that's an elder law attorney, again, working specifically with elders, financial advisor, if you're talking about sort of long-term decision making, if your forgetful parent has just gotten a dementia diagnosis, things like that. And I think the main issue that I had when I was trying to find these professionals is like, how do you know they're legit, right? There's so many people there's too much information online, right? I've talked about this before, but there are so many people offering so many services that competition is super high. And you what really appeals to you is the lower prices, but that could also mean a poorer quality of service. And that's the last thing that we want for our forgetful parent with this disease. So I have put together for you a resource that I have actually used all of these steps myself, and some of the steps I wish I had used in just the several-year journey of being in dementia with my family, and really trying to pick out people that I felt had reached the criteria that I was using, and then brought those choices to my mom, and she made the final decision. And it really occurred to me that no one else has really come out with this guide. So I have put together a guide for you. It's called the Ultimate Guide to Choosing the Best Professional Care Team. And in this guide, I walk you through researching professionals, vetting professionals based on a criteria that I pull from my certification from my certified senior advisor, education, as well as what I've learned along the way. And I honestly wish that I had a guide like this when I mean, as soon as my dad got diagnosed, probably. And it's just, I try to make it as step by step and user friendly as possible. So if you can't do these, 4 steps in one day, you can check off and see where you left off. I wanted to make it as easy as possible to follow this guide and really walk you through the steps that I took. And also want to show you a little bit here. You'll see that there are some spaces where you can enter in some information. So like some of the candidates that you see that you would maybe want to hire. I also have, you'll see some checklists in here too. I talk about red flags to look for when you actually meet the person. I talk about some questions to ask during the interview. And I also talk about the importance of really pulling from the huge list on the internet of all of these people providing these services, and really helping you narrow down for your caregiving parent like the top 3, and having them make the final decision with your recommendation. So it can really make this process a lot easier. And honestly, this has been the best thing that has helped me be a daughter again, and really delegate the things that were not in my expertise, even though I am in the healthcare field, right? That I really needed to let go of, and that other people can do better. Not to mention that these professionals that my mom and I hired were located a lot closer to where my parents lived, which of course was a lot more helpful. So I hope you check out this guide. It is free. It's on my website. And so if you go to joyindementia.com, and all you need to do is put in your email address, and I will email this PDF to you. The other cool thing about this guide is I wanted to make it as easy as possible to use. And so you are welcome to print it out and, write in the spaces. You are also have the option to fill it out online. So I did make it into a fillable PDF if you prefer to write the information in electronically. I know sometimes that'll be easier when you're copying and pasting things about possible professionals you're thinking about hiring. So I would love it if you check out my guide, and I will see you next time. Bye.